The door slammed. Hard. Louder than it needed to be. But that's how they wanted it. Final. Clear. You're done here, his brother said. Cold. Certain. No hesitation. Armand stood still. A small bag in one hand. His daughter in the other. She held his fingers tightly. Confused. Scared. Because she didn't understand. Why home suddenly changed. I just need time, Armand said quietly. Not begging. Just asking. But they had already decided. You've had enough time, his sister added. A pause. You bring nothing to this family. The words hit. But he didn't react. Because pain wasn't new to him. Only the source had changed. His mother didn't speak. She just looked away. And sometimes silence hurts more than words. Armand nodded slowly. Not in agreement. But in acceptance. Because arguing wouldn't change anything. Come, he whispered to his daughter. Soft. Gentle. They stepped outside. The night air. Cold. Heavy. The door closed behind them. And just like that. They were alone. No home. No support. No place to return. His daughter looked up at him. Where will we go? She asked. A simple question. But not a simple answer. Armand knelt down. Met her eyes. Somewhere better, he said. A small smile. Because even now, he wouldn't let her feel fear. They walked. Down the quiet street. Under dim lights. Two shadows. Moving forward. Not knowing what tomorrow would bring. But Armand knew one thing. Tomorrow would change everything. Because what they saw tonight wasn't loss. It was release. And sometimes you have to be pushed out to finally walk into what was already yours. Morning came. Quietly. No chaos. No rush. Just a new beginning. Waiting. Armand opened his eyes. On a simple bench. His daughter still asleep beside him. Her head resting on his arm. Peaceful. Trusting. He looked at her. And smiled softly. Because no matter what happened, he still had everything that mattered. He gently woke her. Princess, he whispered. Her eyes opened slowly. Are we home? She asked. Armand paused. Then nodded. Yes, he said. A small smile formed. Because today. That answer was finally true. They stood up. Walked toward the road. A black car waited nearby. Quiet. Elegant. Out of place. For someone like him. The driver stepped out quickly. Respectful. Sir, he said. A slight bow. His daughter looked confused. Armand didn't explain. Not yet. They got inside. The car moved. Smoothly. Through the city. Past busy streets. Past places that never noticed them before. Until they reached it. Tall gates. Massive. Guarded. The car slowed. Then stopped. His daughter leaned forward. Eyes wide. Whose house is this? She asked. Armand looked at it. Calmly. Ours, he replied. The gates opened. Slow. Grand. Like something out of a dream. The car drove in. Long driveway. Green lawns. A mansion. Standing proud. $30 million. In silence. But it wasn't about money. It was about truth. They stepped out. His daughter held his hand tightly. Really ours, she whispered. Armand nodded. Yes. No hesitation. No doubt. Because this was never luck. It was earned. Hidden. Protected. For the right moment. Staff approached. Respectful. Prepared. Welcome home, sir, one said. His daughter looked up at him. Like she was seeing him for the first time. Not confused anymore. Just amazed. Armand bent down. Smiled gently. I told you, he said. Somewhere better. And far away. In that same small house. His family sat together. Still convinced. They had removed a burden. Still believing. They had made the right choice. Unaware. That the man they threw out. Never needed their house. Because he owned a palace, the silence inside the mansion felt different. Not empty. Peaceful. For the first time. There was no tension. No judgment. No voices telling him what he wasn't. Only space. To be who he truly was. His daughter ran across the living room. Laughing. Her footsteps echoed. Soft. Happy. Free. Armand watched her. Quietly. Because this was the life he protected. Not the wealth. Not the mansion. But her peace. Later that day. Calls began. Messages. Emails. Because news travels fast. Especially the kind people don't expect. Sir, the board is ready, one message read. Your presence is required. Armand didn't rush. Didn't react immediately. Because control means choosing your timing. Across the city. His family sat together. Morning tea. Normal routine. Until the television changed everything. Breaking news. A feature story. A rising business leader returns to public control, the anchor said. A pause. And his net worth is estimated in the tens of millions. A picture appeared. Clear. Unmistakable. Armand. The room froze. Cup stopped midair. Breaths held. Because denial can't survive truth. That's him, his sister whispered. Uncertain. But knowing. His brother leaned forward. Staring. Trying to understand. Trying to reject it. But reality doesn't ask for permission. He was hiding this, he said. No one answered. Because the question was wrong. He wasn't hiding. They just never looked closely. His mother's hands trembled. Not from shock. From regret. Because now. Every moment replayed. Every word spoken. Every door closed. And suddenly. They weren't strong anymore. They were small. Very small. Back at the mansion. Armand stood on the balcony. City stretching before him. Endless. But his expression remained the same. Calm. Grounded. Because nothing had changed. Except what others now saw. His daughter walked up to him. Held his hand. Are we staying here forever? She asked. Armand looked down at her. Soft smile. Yes, he said. A pause. As long as it feels like home. Because to him, home wasn't walls. Or money. It was peace. And something else began that day. Not revenge. Not pride. But distance. Between him and those who only valued him when they understood his worth. Because some doors, once closed, are never meant to be opened again. They came quietly. Not as they once stood. Loud. Certain. But hesitant. Unsure. At the gates. They paused. Because pride doesn't walk easily into truth. His brother looked at the mansion. Eyes heavy. This is really his, he muttered. No one answered. Because they already knew. The guard stepped forward. Calm. Professional. Do you have an appointment? He asked. The question. Simple. But it carried weight. Because once they never needed permission. Now they did. Tell him, his family is here, his sister said softly. The word family felt different now. Less powerful. More fragile. Inside, Armand stood in the hallway. Still. Listening. Not surprised. Because success always brings back people who once walked away. The staff waited for his decision. Should we send them away, sir? One asked. A pause. Long. Measured. Armand looked toward the door. Then toward his daughter. Playing nearby. Laughing. Unaware of history. Unburdened by past. And in that moment, his decision became clear. Let them in, he said. Calm. Not emotional. Just certain. The doors opened. Slow. Heavy. And they stepped inside. Not as owners. Not as authority. But as guests. Armand walked forward. Same posture. Same calm presence. Nothing had changed. Except everything. No one spoke first. Because words felt too small. His mother's eyes filled. Not with pride. With regret. We were wrong, she said. Her voice trembling. Simple. Honest. Too late. Armand nodded slightly. Not accepting. Not rejecting. Just hearing. His brother stepped forward. We didn't know, he said quickly. A pause. We thought. You thought I had nothing, Armand finished. Calm. No anger. Just truth. Silence again. Because excuses don't survive clarity. His sister lowered her gaze. Ashamed. We came to fix things, she whispered. Armand looked at them. Carefully. Then said something they didn't expect. There's nothing to fix. A pause. Only something to understand. They looked up. Confused. Because they expected anger. Or rejection. But not this. You didn't lose me because I had nothing, he said. Another pause.